his outlandish stand. They pointed down the trodden road line with blueprints worn and tame. Said do like us, been like we did, played a safe man's game. But I spit in the dirt and straightened up, jaw set like stone in winter. I told him I ain't living that way, I ain't selling what's in her. One old preacher narrowed his eyes, crossed Clinton on his chest. He asked, you think your will won't break? I said, try me, go on test. Pressure only proves I run. They piled their judgments on my back, they pushed with all they had. But a spine that's born from struggle don't fold like cattle to the brand. I don't bend, not for comfort, not for men. I'll take the wind full in the face and stand up tall again. If the world wants me kneeling, they'll die waiting on that side. I'd rather break clean on my own terms than live crooked out of spite. The wind that tried to break me, the wind that tried to break me. I felt like a slow black curtain, cold wind howling at my stance. Other men huddled, shrinking small, I just widened my advance. I cut my palm on a flint rock edge, let a drop fall to the ground. Swore to the dirt beneath my boots, this soul ain't never bowing down. The sky growled like a hungry beast, lightning flashed along the ridge. Wind slapped me like an angry judge, but I never took a backward inch. In the roar I heard my shadow speak, you sure you can stand alone? I answered back with a bare teeth grin, alone is where a real man's grown. No compromise in the bone, no compromise in the bone, no compromise in the bone, no compromise in the bone. Let 'em push, let 'em howl, let 'em try to twist my mind. I was built in deeper places than the reach of humankind. The irony in my stance, I don't bend, I don't bend, not for comfort, not for men. I'll face the storm with open eyes and rise up straight again. If the world wants me kneeling, they'll wait until the end of days. 'Cause I'd rather crack into pieces than bow just to earn their praise. But I ain't clay. You can bend wood, but I ain't wood. I was born iron, hammered by struggle, quenched in solitude. That's why I stand and don't break, and don't Nobody clap for him that year, no handshake, no pat on the back. Lived in a little wooden room where sunlight avoided the cracks. The time went on without him like he never wore a name. He wasn't hated, just unseen, lost in silence just the same. He stared at a single dead wick on a candle left to rot, then whispered to the empty dark, I'll light my own damn shot. So he struck a match with shaking hands, flame jumping like a startled horse. And in that flicker, for the first time, he felt his own internal source. Light with no audience. When ain't seen. It's about letting the fire know the flame from inside. He lit a flame inside the dark with no one there to see. And somehow that small glow became the map to where he'd be. He didn't borrow light from others, didn't beg a guiding hand, 'cause when the fire's born within you, you don't need another man. The work in the shadows, night after night he stayed up, letting that small flame guide his craft. Plans unfurled like silver threads where once he'd only grabbed and laughed. He talked quietly to that candle, like confiding to a loyal friend. If I stay steady in this darkness, will the path show in the end? The flame didn't answer, it just burned, steady as a heartbeat drum. And that silence said more clearly than every mouth he'd ever come from. A spider crawled across the desk, shadows danced along the wall. And in that hush he finally realized he didn't need the voice at all. The quiet covenant. That small light of vow carved into breath. I'll keep walking by this glow even if I walk to death. The way out of the abyss. He lit a flame inside the dark with no one there to see. Because the world believed, but because the fire stayed. Some men wait for torches, others learn to make their own. 'Cause the light that saves you ain't the light that's handed down. It's the one you build in the dark when nobody else is around. To my boots, I'd been living like a beaten dog, dragging doubts like heavy roots. I held that old leather journal full of not enough and never will. Pages stained with quiet shame, ink like poison spill. I heard a voice in my head whisper, you sure you wanna lose who you been? I growled back through gritted teeth, that man ain't taking me to where I'm going. Moonlight cut across my face like a judge with a silver eye. I knelt down, shovel bit the soil, no prayer, just a low tide sigh. That man I used to be, he ain't worth a funeral song. Some sails don't need saving, they just need to be gone. I buried who I was and I walked away clean. Left the scared boy in the earth with across the chest. I dropped that journal in the hole, watched it hit the ground and lie. Tore a strip from my shirt, tied it around my wrist, a quiet oath under the sky. I whispered to the cold dark earth, take him, I won't dig him up. Then pressed the soil back over till the past was deep enough. As I stood I felt a strange ease, like a snake that had shed its fate. In that silent burial I killed who kept me waiting. I walked back to the house slow, broken moonlight at my back. And I swear the night itself whispered, you ain't never coming back. Some deaths don't need mourners, some endings don't need tears. I traded fear for backbone and left that corpse of doubts right here. I buried who I was and I walked away clean. The one who rose in morning's light was tougher than I've ever been. I didn't try to fix that old self, I put him in the ground. Cause the man I woke up as ain't tied to who I once was bound. Now I don't carry the whispers, don't answer to that old voice. Last night was a funeral, today I finally got choice. Needs healing. Some parts of us need dying. When I buried that old self, something newer started rising. Back road at 2 a.m. 2 a.m. on a dirt road south of town. Headlights died, windshield full of clawing wind. I killed the flashlight, shut my eyes, let my boots do the talking to the ground. Got that old silver cross in my pocket, gift from the woman who slammed the door on me. I heard a voice like whiskey in the dark. You ain't lost, boy, you're just off the map. Faith with no eyes on. I don't see, but I feel the dirt changing. I don't look, but I know the sky turned iron gray. I don't need a sign, I just need the hush in my own soul. I walk without light. I walk without light, heart thumping like a compass in my chest. If the night wants to swallow me whole, let it try. I'm the kind that walks by instinct, not by sight. And if my feet drag me straight through the fire, I keep on walking. Hell, maybe that's the way home. Voices in the dark pines. Up ahead, pines rustle like a room of quiet gossip. Branches whispering secrets I wasn't meant to hear. I stopped and the wind talk first. You carry sin like stones in your ribs. I spat in the dirt, hands so low. Yeah, but I carry my own damn judgment too. Then I cut my palm with my old pocket knife, let blood drip on that silver cross. 'Cause some sins ain't washed, they're clean. Faith with no eyes on. I don't see, but I feel the world lean closer. I don't look, but shadows step aside. I don't beg for mercy, I just walk like I already earned it. I walk without light, and I don't walk alone. I walk without light, heart drumming like a war drum in my chest. If darkness wants to test me, let it swing. I'm the kind that walks by soul, not by eyes. And if fire wants to scorch me in the memory, I'll rise through the smoke with a crooked grin. 'Cause this road don't need to be seen, it needs to be felt. Sun wasn't up yet, he was in that barn alone. Tools laid out like a surgeon's silver camera angle overhead. Sawdust on the floor, one lantern burning, no footsteps but his. Folks once crowded around him, clapping, nodding, talking big, but now nobody. No audience, no applause. One old friend had asked him yesterday, if nobody sees you, does it still matter? He answered, watch and learn, or don't. Quiet world. He kept on working, not for praise, just for proof. He witnessed himself, he became his own witness. When the eyes of the world turned away, he didn't need a crowd to claim a path, he walked it anyway. Truth ain't told by announcement, truth is carved in actions. Some men want an audience, so men make history. Ritual of proof. Camera close on his hand, hammering that steel. Stroke by stroke, hour by hour, sweat dripped like melted candle wax. And he pressed his thumb into it, leaving a print of salt and will. A quiet ritual, a private oath. Then he looked at the empty doorway where nobody stood, and he spoke to the silence. I see you, boy, that's enough. Camera slow pan out, just him, the work, and the sound of something becoming real. Bad truth, bad truth. He kept on working, not for praise, just for settled on him like a metal pen by God. Greatness don't ask to be seen, it just refuses to be forgotten. You've been out running that shadow since you were knee-high and angry. Camera angle, side view, your boots pounding dust roads, moon swinging overhead like a guilty lamb. That darkness kept grabbing at your heels, kept whispering your worst to your ears. Once you said, leave me the hell alone, and it only lasts stronger. Turning around, but one night you stopped, breath heavy, hands still. You turned around and stopped the chase. Sit with it. You told that shadow, come here, I ain't running. You sat with your darkness till the moon gave up and left. You made peace with the part you used to damn and deny. 'Cause a man ain't whole till he walks with every piece of himself. At midnight, camera lantern glow on your face, eyes like tired steel. Your shadow stood before you now, not behind, not chasing, just standing there. And you said, if you're part of me, then walk beside me. Shadow didn't speak, but it nodded inside like a brother forgiven me. Then you cut your palm with your pocket knife, not deep, just enough of truth, and pressed it to the ground. Blood on dirt, a vow in red, a ritual of ownership. It turned around and stopped the chase. You let the darkness sit and call you by your real name. Together with night, you told that shadow, come here, I ain't running. You sat with your darkness till the moon gave up and left. You made peace with the part you used to damn and deny. 'Cause a man ain't whole till he walks with every piece of like dawn behind your ribs. Light don't conquer shadow, it just learns how to walk with it. Had money in my pocket, roof over my head. Folks saying you made it, son, you can rest now. Camera close, I just stared past him at a road that didn't exist yet. One man asked me straight, ain't you satisfied? I laughed slow and dry, satisfied as just a cage with cushions. Something in me still growling, something in me still thirsty. Comfort never killed the hunger, it just dulled the tea. Never enough. I'm the one who keeps pushing, long past the finish line. When others call it done, I'm already building another climb. They can touch their prize, I'll tear open new horizons. Winning ain't reaching the end, winning's never reaching it. Cut to me alone in a shed at dusk, books open, maps spread, hands black with grease and charcoal. I strike a match, light a scrap of paper with last year's goals scribbled on it. Watch them burn like old skin slipping off. I tell the flame what fed me once ain't feeding me anymore. Camera tracks my shadow, stretched long on the floor, looking like a hungry thing that learned how to stand. Something in me still growling, something in me still thirsty. Comfort never killed the hunger, it just dulled the tea. The road that never ends, the road that never ends. I'm the one who keeps pushing, long past the finish line. When others call it done, I'm already building another climb. They can touch their prize, I'll tear open new horizons. Winning ain't reaching the end, winning's never reaching it. And the cold truth settles in like dust on a long black trail. A dream that can be completed ain't worth dreaming. Never enough. Never enough. Never High noon at a dusty outpost, a circle of men with cheap opinions. They ask me like judges with no jury, why you doing this, what's the meaning? Camera pushes in on my face, sunlight hard on my brow, jaw set slow like iron cooling. I just gave him a half smile, wiped the sweat with the back of my wrist. Didn't say a word, cause words ain't currency here. Quiet like a loaded gun. I kept the dream inside, like a secret flame. Let the silence speak while I wander still. I don't explain, I become. I never told them what I chase, 'cause it ain't their road to see. I don't explain the dream, I let the dream explain me. They'll learn when the dust clears, not from what I said, but from what I've done. Cut to midnight in the shed, hands blistered, smoke in my teeth. I melted down an old bullet casing from a fight I nearly lost, and hammered it into a badge I pinned inside my coat. Then I whispered to myself, we ain't here to be understood, just to leave proof. Camera circles behind me, the lantern light bends over my shoulders like wings of tired angels, watching the sinner work, faith in the doing. I kept the dream inside, like a secret flame. Let the silence speak while I wander still. Let the word talk. I never told them what I chase, 'cause it ain't their road to see. I don't explain the dream, I let the dream explain me. They'll learn when the dust clears, not from what I said, but from what I've done. And here's the cool truth, carved in bone and coal. Real dreams don't beg to be believed, they rise and make believe it. Barroom at sundown, they circle me like wolves with whiskey breath. One called me a coward, one called me a crook, one called me all head, no backbone. I didn't spit back, I just stood up slow, looked the loudest one right in the eye. He said, "Don't you burn easy, boy." I answered, "Let's find out." Camera pans, I walked out into the alley fire, trash burning in oil drums, heat hissing like a damn serpent. Let them throw their flames, I'll walk straight through. The skin ain't my armor, my will is. Born through burning, I walked through the fire, didn't flinch, didn't fold. I let the embers lick my sins, burn off the mold. I ain't afraid of heat, hell, I'm carved from coal. You learn to walk in fire, and fire loses control. halfway through that burning lane, I remembered her wild woman with fire eyes. She once held my face in her palms and told me, you won't drown in water, you'll drown in people's judgment. So I gave the flames a chance to judge me. I rolled up my sleeve, pressed my forearm to the metal drum. Her skin seared, smelled that sacred smoke. And I said to myself, pain ain't the enemy, fear is. Camera rotates, heat shimmer, I stepped out the other side. Short shirt, scorched skin, but walking steady, still here. Let them throw their flames, I walk straight through. The skin ain't my armor, my will is. After the burn, I walked through the fire, didn't flinch, didn't fold. I let the embers lick my sins, burn off the mold. I ain't afraid of heat, hell, I'm carved from coal. You learn to walk in fire, and fire loses control. Here's the cold truth, spoken from the ash. What tries to burn me only forges me. Only forges me. They took my money first, left me dry as a bleached out bone. Then death came silent, took someone I give my years for. And then fortune left too, like a stray dog jumping train. Camera tight on hands, my fingers sifting through the wreckage of what used to be a life. I told the ruins, if you wanted to break me, you're late. Picking up piece by piece, shard by shard, I gathered every broken part. Build the armor from every log, I made my crown from every call. I ain't the man who once had mud, I'm the man who now can't be touched. Thieves can't steal what's already burned, and fire bow to what's unscorched. The forge agreed. I lit the fire in the blacksmith's pit, melted down that old brass locket she gave me before she slipped away. Watched it soften like grief giving up its shape. Camera close on my face, glowing in the red furnace flare. And I said to myself, pain is not the key. Pain is the hammer, and I bent the metal barehanded, skin blistering, knuckles smoking, shaping something new. Not decoration, not memory, but different.
Piece by piece, shot by shot, I gathered every broken part.
Not who I was from every loss. I made my crown from every cause. I ain't the man who once had mud. I'm the man who now can't be touched. Thieves can't steal what's already burned, and fire bows to what's unscorched. And here's the hard truth, casting smoke and steel. Losing ain't a shrinking, it's a rebirth, and I am. Midnight found him in a one-room cabin, just him and that busted lantern glow. Camera close up, his hand steady on the table, while shadows crawl the walls like snakes, and somewhere in his skull that voice started like a cheap preacher with a poison hymn. You ain't enough, you ain't never gonna be enough. He didn't flinch, just leaned back, eyes half lit like a man settling in for a long poker game. Faced a whisper, he didn't push it away, didn't beg for silence. He just waited, 'cause even demons get tired when endurance turns to iron. He outlasted the devil while others prayed for rescue. He didn't fight the fire, he let it burn through. He didn't scream in the dark, he just stared right back. 'Cause the devil's strong, he ain't built to last. Camera pans slow from the flickering lantern to his face, calm and warm by miles. Their voice inside sharp and turned cruel like barbed wire. You're a failure, you're forgettable, you'll die alone. He didn't blink, he just reached for the old pocket Bible. Not to read, but to weigh it in his palm like a stone in a sling. Then he told the voice, you can gnaw me all night, but I ain't the one who'll bleed. Hours passed, night wore thin, the voice grew ragged, softer like a hound that's lost its growl, still in silence. He didn't push it away, didn't beg for silence. He just waited, 'cause even demons get tired. Outlived the night, he outlasted the devil while others prayed for rescue. He didn't fight the fire, he let it burn through. He didn't scream in the dark, he just stared right back. but he ain't built to last. But he ain't built to last. And when the sun bled through the window and the first gold line hit his face, he smiled just once, a small hard smile, 'cause he knew endurance is holier than faith and quieter than fitting. Midnight in a busted churchyard, rain hitting like God, throwing stones. Mask on my face, so true. Felt like I drowned in my own damn lies. I tore it off, let the wind have the truth, and I heard that storm whisper, you ain't built from the flesh, built from the scar. Lightning lit up the sky like a switchblade, and in that flash I saw the bones beneath me shining white and stubborn. Let it tear me down, let it scrape me clean. If I'm meant to stand, I'll stand with nothing but me. If the storm shift me, if the storm shift me, if the storm shift me, if the storm shift me naked, I won't beg for shelter. If the wind takes my skin, I'll laugh in the howl. I ain't running from the rain, I ain't bargaining with heaven. Are what remain, them bones are what I am now. Confession to the wind, I spoke to the storm like it was a priest. Forgive me my pride, my greed, my crooked love. But the storm didn't answer with mercy, it answered with truth. It slammed me on my knees, but I didn't pray. I clawed the mud and I found my old silver cross buried in the dirt. She once gave it to me, the wild woman I loved, like a fire that could burn daylight. She said, keep this cowboy so you don't lose your soul. Well, tonight I held it up to the wind and I said, if I lose anything, it won't be there. Still here. Hear the storm swimming. The storm swimming, hear the storm swimming, hear the storm swinging naked. I won't beg for shelter. If the wind takes my skin, I'll laugh in the howl. I ain't running from the rain, I ain't bargaining with heaven. If bones are what remain, then bones are what I am now. And hear this truth, carved in thunder and shadow, what the storm tears away was never truly mine, but stays is what cannot die. The storm killing me, the storm killing me, the storm killing me. Still killing me. last shot. Midnight highway stretched out like a scar on the earth, and I'm walking it, coat hanging heavy with old dust and old sin. Moon too damn tired to shine, stars dripping like busted glass on a black floor. There's no map in my pocket, no promise in my future, just the murmur of my heartbeat telling me go on. I spit in the dirt behind me like burying yesterday, and I take another step, steady, stubborn, stupid, holy. Fearless ain't the word. They say fear's a shadow, but hell, I've been living in the shadow so long. I learned to see in the dark. I walk where roads are born. I walk where roads are born. I ain't looking for the trail, I make it under every boot step. Future ain't ahead of me, it unfolds because I move. Some folks wait for daylight, I dragged on behind me and chains of will. I walk where roads are born. Desert of voices, sand begins to whisper, and if it don't sound like the dead, one voice, low and bitter, crawls out of the dust. Turn back, son, you ain't meant for miracles. I stop, run thumb across the worn leather of my gun belt. Feel the rosary beads under my shirt, burn cold against my chest. I answer back quiet like a man talking to his own bones. If I'm damned, let me earn it walking forward. Wind shuts up, silence bows its head.
Truth in the dark.
I ain't asking fate for mercy, I ain't asking God for light. My sins don't follow me, I carry them like metals carved in flesh. That forward burning faith. For the trail, I make it under every boot step. Future ain't ahead of me, it unfolds because I move. Some folks wait for daylight, I dragged on behind me in chains of will. I walk where roads are born. Yeah, I walk where roads are born. Last shot. The horizon ain't a warning, it's a dare. And I take it one step at a time. Folks kept asking why I gone quiet, why I talk less, stared more. Said you used to ramble like a river, now you're locked up like a cellar door. Truth is I got tired of chatter, tired of words with no spine. So I shut my mouth like a steel trap and let my hands do the grind. In the barn with the lantern low, sawdust clinging to my skin. I work till the rooster crowed, I never needed to chime in. One man asked me sideways, you think silence makes you bigger? I just looked him dead in the face, didn't even lift a finger. Speech ain't strength, I learned a hard little lesson beneath that humming sky. A man who talks to prove himself, ain't sure on the inside. When I finally speak, I don't speak to fill the air, I speak to make you quake. If I open up my mouth these days, cause something's gonna break. I don't talk to be noticed, I don't talk just to talk. I save my voice for moments that can knock the hinges off. I hammered out the shape of me, far from eyes and easy praise. Let the silence forge my edges, like a blade no crowd could erase. I hung a small cross on the wall, half shadowed behind a nail. Didn't beg for heaven's approval, just asked myself not to fail. Sometimes my old doubts whisper, speak up, let them see you strong. I answered back in my own head, strong, don't need to sing along. One morning I walked into town and someone finally said, you've changed, you're heavier now, like your words might crush the dead. Weight of a quiet man, I don't lose my voice, I taught it when I rise. Silence ain't emptiness, it's strength in disguise. My voice is a hammer now. When I finally speak, I don't speak to fill the air, I speak to make it quake. If I open up my mouth these days, it's cause something's gonna break. My words ain't feathers anymore, they hit like railroad steel. I turn silence into pressure that the world can't help but feel. Some men talk to be listened to, I talk when truth needs born, cause the loudest thunder in my life was forged from the quiet before the It cut you once deep and mean, down where no doctor's hand can reach. Not just a split in skin, but a crack in faith you couldn't preach. You stood in that bathroom mirror, lamp flickering like a nervous eye. Touch that mark across your chest, felt your throat forget to sigh. You asked your reflection softly, does this make me broken, friend? But the scar just stared back silent like a truth that wouldn't bend. You could have covered it with claw, hidden the proof and walked away, but instead you let it shine like a wound that learned to stay. Your scar ain't shame, it's scripture. That scar ain't proof you lost, it's proof you made it through. What cut you down one season couldn't kill the core of you. Let 'em see the line across your skin. Let turning hurt into halo. One day you walk through the town square, shirt unbuttoned, chest laid bare, and every eyeball twitched on you like sinners caught mid-prayer. A young boy watched you and asked you, does it hurt when folks all stare? You looked him dead in the eye, know it hurts when you don't dare. You took a bit of holy oil, rub it soft along that ridge, not to erase but to anoint what you crossed from pain to bridge. And for a moment the wind calmed down, like the earth was holding breath. 'Cause it ain't every day a man turns near death into strength. Some wounds don't fade away, they ascend and change their role. You didn't lose a piece of self, you earned a piece of soul. That scar ain't proof you lost. That scar ain't proof you lost. It's proof you made it through. That crack in your foundation became the golden seam in you. Let the crowd see a broken line. You see a holy brand. A mortal man got wounded, a different man now stands. 'Cause every cut that didn't end you became a crown in your design. You ain't defined by where you bled, you're defined by how you rise. Some men hide their scars, but you learn the deeper laws. The flesh remembers suffering, but the soul remembers claws. And your scar isn't a reminder of being hurt, but of the fact you walked away.